English clubs would like to try and sign Lionel Messi, and with Pep Guardiola coming to Manchester City, there's speculation that they could make that move in the summer. Could an English club afford to buy a player like him?
They could definitely afford to buy it. I mean, there's very few teams that can afford to buy a player like Messi or Ronaldo, and those are the top teams in the Premier League. But then obviously the point here is that those players are in top teams too. So it's rather difficult that those teams accept to play this to release these players. But in terms of affordability, definitely yes, they could afford it.
I mentioned Guardiola because that was the big news of the transfer deadline day. Manchester City not signing a player but a manager. Do you think his arrival will have a big impact on this summer's transfer window? It will make it even more spending than there's ever been before.
I think it's too early to say, but more and more what we are seeing is the teams having a kind of football director and a football structure, which is not necessarily linked to the manager himself. So I mean, obviously every manager will have his favorite players and will try to push for them. But I would say that this level of teams already have an important structure in place and a long-term planning in terms of the players, in a way that a new manager does not necessarily mean a complete shake-up of the team, especially for teams that are doing well. If you talk about teams like Chelsea or United, probably the manager would come along with specific player needs, but that will depend on the situation that we can see in the summer, and there's still far to go.
Yes, I mean, it's interesting you say that because Chelsea will be having a new manager in the summer as well. Does it not necessarily mean a new manager means lots of new signings in your experience?
I would say that new manager normally means that you want to change things. So if you change the manager, probably you will change lots of players or many players, but not necessarily because the manager wants to bring new players, but as part of a new development in the club in which you want to kind of turn things around.
Do you think with this new TV revenue and other revenues coming into the English game, with Chelsea and Manchester City changing managers, Guardiola, etc., this summer we could see the world record transfer fee broken?
That's a good question, and in terms of disposable income, yes, we could, and I'm sure there will be transfers in the range of 80, 90, even 100 million euros. As of now, the record high is Gareth Bale moving from Spurs to Real Madrid on 101 million euro, and if not beaten, I think that there could be some signings kind of close to that amount, but I would expect some big signings to take place next summer for sure.
Any names? Any names that we might be looking out for on the move?
Well, we've got some names around that depending on the circumstances could definitely change. I mean, we've been talking about the likes of Lewandowski, we've been talking about the likes of Ronaldo. I mean, these type of players are very demanded in the marketplace, but then there are others such as Lukaku in Everton, not to reach that level, but probably in the range of 60-70 million euros. We will see some transfers taking place next summer, but let's see.